Good morning, class. Okay, so everyone get out a pen real quick. We're just going to do our little quiz about your reading comprehension for Chapter 7 of Animal Farm. So just pass the quizzes back, and great. Okay, pass them up to the front. All right, so today, as you can tell on the board, we're going to do some speeches. We're going to learn about this thing called raft, which is a tool that you can use for lots of different kinds of writing. And so what we're going to focus in, we've been reading Animal Farm for 7 chapters now. So we're going to focus in on Squealer's speeches and the role they play in the government there. So first of all, we've talked about this a bit, but what is Squealer's role in this government in Animal Farm? Okay, great. Yeah, so he's the right-hand man. Does anybody know what his official title is, or one of his official titles? And I'm looking for a specific word that these speeches convey. Right, propaganda minister. He is the propaganda minister, right? So let's just make sure we define this term, even though we've talked about it a bit already. And we made these awesome posters about the propaganda in Animal Farm. Okay, so what's the definition? Okay, explain that a little bit. Okay, so, right. Yeah, so it's to use speeches or other means of communication to convey the thoughts that your government wants to convey by means that might not be true or partial truths, but to kind of persuade the public that everything is fine with your government and everything is going great, and to get them to go along with the program, right? Okay, and so on the board here, I wrote a little quote. You can look it up in your books, page 37. This is a little quote of one of the speeches from Squealer. And of course, he has a number of speeches, but they're all a little bit short. And so we're going to get a chance today to write our own Squealer speeches. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let me just read this to you real quick, and you follow along in the book, okay? But we'll just get an idea of one of these speeches. Okay, so he's like, comrades, he said, I trust that every animal here appreciates the sacrifice that Comrade Napoleon has made in taking this extra labor upon himself. Do not imagine, comrades, that leadership is a pleasure, okay? And so he goes on, as you can see. And so he has a way of twisting things around to make it seem like it's just actually a real labor for Napoleon to have to be the leader and to have all the privileges of being a leader. And of course, the people are complaining because the pigs have their own elite class, right? And they're supposed to be all equal. And so, it's Squealer's responsibility to convince the people that actually everything Napoleon and the government is doing is all for their best interests. And that even, he talks about in another quote, because they're eating the apples and drinking the milk that the other animals don't get. And so he convinces them that actually they don't even like apples. They don't even like milk, but they have to eat those things so that they'll be healthy and they can be good leaders, and they can make all the important decisions that these all little animals don't know about and can't understand. And so anyways, he has a way of twisting these things around. So this is pretty interesting. So what we're going to do today is write our own speeches, but really quick, we're going to talk about this raft. Now, raft it's an acronym, but it's really like it keeps you afloat, like a raft, when you're trying to write to a certain audience or a certain context. So it's a really handy, simple, useful tool, okay? So we got 4 letters, right? We got 4 letters. So we got R, okay? So this is the role, okay? So what is Squealer's role? Okay, so he's the propaganda minister, okay, and he's speaking to the people, right? Which is the next one, audience, okay? So you got audience, okay, so what's the audience? Okay, so the audience is the main population of the animals, minus the ruling class. Okay, and then we have an F. Does anybody want to guess what F stands for? Okay, so it stands for function, okay? So in this case, it's a persuasive speech. Okay, so you're going to be writing persuasive speeches. So this isn't good just for propaganda. This is good for any time that you need to write a speech that has to convince somebody of something, right? Okay, and the last one is the topic. Okay, and so in this case, you get two choices. You can either talk about the greatness of Napoleon, or you can talk about how the society is actually doing really great. So we'll just call that society greatness. But so there's either Napoleon's greatness or society's greatness. And you get a pick. You can talk about how great Napoleon is and how he's doing such a great job. And so, or you can talk about how actually the animals aren't starving, they're not being worked to death. Everything is actually really great in their society. And they're just imagining things, that things are going bad and that the pigs are actually living on the hog. Actually, you know, they have all the good stuff. So, now these speeches will be 1 to 2 minutes. And so I'm going to give you about 10, 15 minutes.